contract Ottoman Empire had starting in the 1870s with Mauser. Every time Mauser updated their design, their export design, the Ottoman Empire had the option to upgrade their contract to the most current design. It was a very sweet deal for them. They kept their arsenal nice and modern. This is a model 1893. This almost certainly was used during World War One. It's similar to the Gewehr 98 and the other Mauser designs you'll hear about here in a second. It has a 5-round internal magazine. Takes a stripper clip of 5 rounds. You'll see here on this side there's a cutout. It wasn't originally in the design. They actually altered these so that when you're pressing down, the cartridges, your thumb has somewhere to go. And now you got 5 rounds. When you're out of 5 rounds, you got to do the whole thing over again. So, without further ado,
Whatever I can see, I'm gonna go over there.
I represent the Americans. I'm dressed as a Wisconsin National Guardsman, circa 1917, so hence the cotton canvas. If I was going to be in France, I would be wearing wool uniform with puttees and helmet instead of a campaign hat. But National Guardsman is what we wore before we went to France. So the Army had to grow exponentially, so we had to go out and train, and this is how we would come out. Our governor was nice enough to buy us these 03 Springfield. So used a 30-06 caliber. That nomenclature is 30 caliber of 1906. It was designed for this rifle. So a lot of people use it for a deer rifle. It's a great cartridge. This is essentially just a Mauser, but like an Americanized version of it. It uses the same mechanism, basically identical. Not interchangeable, but almost identical. Also a 5-round internal magazine. I've got 100 rounds in my belt. These are what they look like with the actual bullets on. Obviously I'm not going to be shooting those. Blanks. 5-round stripper clip. Goes in the slot, just like the Mauser. Drop them in, and we're ready to go. Fire and hold.
Smell the gunpowder.
Oh, yeah, you can grab the.
Oh yeah, you can grab the shells. Yeah. I've done that previously.
We gotta do that.
Yeah, we gotta.
One of us didn't fire, so it's to find that one.
So I represent a German artilleryman. So I shoot the bigger cannons, and because of that, I'm far from the front, and I don't need like a long-range rifle like the Gewehr 98. So my equipment consists of the carbine version of the commission rifle, or Gewehr 88, which unfortunately we don't have up here right now. But this is shortened down. This particular model would have been used by cavalry as like mounted soldiers, as they would fire from horseback. But what makes this weapon so unique compared to a lot of the other rifles is the way that it's actually loaded. Unlike a lot of the more conventional rifles that you're probably used to, this uses a end block piece rather than a stripper clip, which you will insert inside of the internal magazine, and Once all rounds are fired, it will drop out the bottom. Or, assuming that you want to reload midway through, there's a little button in the trigger guard here, which pops it right back out. So it's a very cool little gun, and it's one of my favorites. Unfortunately, it does not fire blanks. So it's really just a prop piece at this point. I'm trying to find my pocket. Something that does actually fire, on the other hand, hypothetically fires, is this little beauty right here.
Reich's
The
revolver.
German 1883 Reichsrevolver.
Yeah.
It is a single-action 6 revolver used by German officers and anyone who happens to get their hands on it. Jammed in a very weird round. I forget exactly what it is, but it's not something pleasant to remember. Let's just put it that way. But hypothetically, although I have not shot this before, it should fire here and now. As soon as I can get my ammunition out, bear with me. Technical difficulties, bear with me. Alright, sorry about that. Good. Alright, upon me. Fire in the hole! And that will conclude my portion of the demonstration. Thank you.
Alright. Now I portray your general German line infantryman. So after the Kar 88 and the Gewehr 88 released, there were some problems with it regarding easily misplaced pieces and stuff that could be inserted the wrong way and then not fire properly. And so Paul Mauser decided to make his greatest creation, the Gewehr 88, and later modified for World War II to be the Kar 98. So this just takes your standard 5-round strip of clips. Nothing special.
Good afternoon. Representing the Gordon's Highlanders from the United Kingdom, I first need to apologize how boring this must have been for all of you. I mean, we look at the Americans, Mauser. We look at the Turks, Mauser. Look at this German, Mauser with some confidence issues. We have yet another Mauser. What I'm carrying here is the short magazine Lee Enfield.
Yeah.
Now this design went through quite a few iterations, but what made us somewhat lucky was our war in South Africa. Now fighting against the Boers, we realized quite a few things. One, that Mausers were a lot better than the single-loading Martini Henrys we had. The original Lee Enfields were too long. So we listened to the cavalry, because the cavalry is riding on horses, so they want removable magazines. But the infantry is laying on their stomachs, so they want stripper clips. We said, why not both? On top of that, I have about double the ammunition they do in my 10-round detachable magazine. Now, early models, on their trigger guard, there's a little loop here, because the
generals thought that removing a magazine was a bad idea because it would lose it. So early models had a little chain to keep it held in there. Now on top of that, I don't just have double the ammunition. The Mauser uses a cock on open style action. What that means is when they open it, the cocking piece goes back and they have to fight the spring the entire way down. Mine cocks on closing, allowing us to fire much faster than someone with a Mauser can. I will now demonstrate.
Much faster.
Yeah, much faster. Oh yeah.
Bro, that guy ate his words.
I feel representing the Gordon Highlanders, or the officer instead of an enlisted man, like my compatriot behind me. I carry a pattern 17 rifle. It is also Enfield make, but Britain constructed America, or contracted America to construct these rifles. The pattern 17 will also then later replace America's Springfield rifle when they entered the war. It, compared to the SMLE, it only takes 5 rounds in the chamber. And what it does have unique with it, though, is its aperture sight, which was much more preferred to the sight of the SMLE.
Nice. It's so cool.
Здравствуйте, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vladimir Morodova. I'm a member of the 174th Romensky Infantry Battalion. I represent a member of the Tsar's Russian Imperial Army. And what I have with me today is the M1891 Mosin Nagant rifle. This is the most produced battle rifle in history. It is also has one of the longest services in military history. Meaning, this rifle is still being used today in combat. You can find this on the battlefields of Ukraine, in Yemen today. So it is a 5-round magazine. It can be released on the bottom here via this mechanism. It is a straight pull bolt.
Oh.
Oopsie.
Flip right off.
So this would have been carried by the Russian Imperial Army. The first time this saw combat would have been during the Russo-Japanese War in 1905. By 1914, this would have been adopted by the Russian Army as its main battle rifle. So there were 2 major arsenals that produced this rifle. There were a couple others, but the 2 major ones were Tula and Ijevsk. This one in particular is produced by, I believe, Ijevsk. I am going to demonstrate for you firing. I only have 3 rounds on me, so I will not be shooting up the full magazine. But yes, I will demonstrate that.
There we are.
Fire in the hole!
What a flash.
Thank you, everybody. Make sure you go around and talk to everybody in their camp. I'm sure they got lots to talk about.